Hi everyone, it's Sam here from samsentiments.co.uk. We're coming today to make, a tissue box for your little pockets of pocket tissues. They're not very attractive, are they? So I thought we'd make a nice box for them to go in, and you can open it there and pull them out just like you could a standard size box of tissues. I've used Daffodil Delight and some paper from the Abloom DSP Stack on this, and I'm going to do the same again but just with a different colourway. So today we're going to use pistachio pudding, and you need a piece of card that measures 7.5 by 8 inches, and then we need to score it. So I'll bring in the scoring board. I've still not got my Stampin' Up scoring board. It is on the top of my list. I'll have it for my next video. Okay, so on the 7.5 inch side we need to score at 1/2 inch, and then again at 1 3/4 inches, and at 4 inches. Oops. And then again at 5 1/4 inches. And then we'll spin it round onto the 8 inch side, and again at 1/2 inch. This does not want to score today. 1 3/4 inches. Six 1/4 inches, and 7.5 inches. There we go, and that's the scoring done. Now, oops, you'll notice that I slipped out of the groove there. I don't know if you can see that, but if you ever do that, just get your bone folder and rub over it, and it'll iron it back flat again. There we go. So now we need to do some cutting. We need to cut a few pieces off. This isn't that easy to see on the video, so this is basically what your card will look like now. So we need to cut these corners off, these thin rectangles here and here, and then these ones here, cut all of this off as well, so it'll look like this. So I've done that cutting already to try and shorten the video a little bit. And now what we need to do is cut just down these lines here to this score line, and the same there. So we'll do that now, and you need to notch in. Those of you who watch YouTube videos will be familiar with notching in, and that's just basically into the little square, just notch in very slightly, and that just helps with closing the box. You will see these cut lines, so you want to try and make them as neatly as you possibly can. There we go. Okay, so now we can start folding. So we need to fold on all of the score lines and burnish. Now, to make the hole in the centre where the tissues pop out, we're going to need to use our big shot. I have tried it with a punch, but I just don't seem to be able to get a punch in there far enough to get the hole in the centre. There we go. So where we need to put I'm going to use the ovals Framelits, these here, and you're going to need the smallest and the next one up today to make this box. So with the smallest one, you need to place it in the centre, but before you do, so that you get the hole out of the pattern paper as well, you need to pop your pattern paper on. And for DSP for this project, you're going to need 2 pieces of 1 inch by 4 1/4 and 1 piece of 2 inch by 4 1/4. And you need to stick your centrepiece on before you cut the hole out. So we'll do that now. This is from the Abloom Designer Series paper stack. I'm just using some snail here to stick it on with, that'll be fine. I'll pop that on. So you need to get the smallest of your ovals and pop it in the middle. Now I am using a piece of tape to keep it in place because I've got to carry it over to my big shot. I have got the magnetic platform, but knowing me, I will just move it on the way over. So then this isn't going to fit through your big shot like this, so you are going to have to fold this piece over. Now when you run it through, it will crease this part here, but there's no need to worry about that because that's on the bottom, so you won't see it. So I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to pop over to the big shot. Okay, so we're back from the big shot. I'll take this out very carefully. There we go. You need to save this piece that you've taken out the middle. Pop that to one side, and as you can see, it has creased that bit there. You just rub over it with your bone folder, and if you're really concerned, you can always stick another piece of DSP, which I think I might do on here actually. I've got another piece here, because if you're giving it as a gift, you don't want it to look messy. There we go. So we've got another piece of DSP there. So you can pop your other 2 bits on, and these go on these narrow sections here. There we go. So we're almost ready to pop the box together, but before we do, there's a couple of other things we need to do. These tiny flaps here and here on both sides, we need to round the corners of those. So you'll take your corner rounder and round the corners. There we go. And now we need to make the closure, and we need to do that before we close the box as well. So this is where the next size oval framelit comes in. I've cut out a piece of pistachio pudding with that, and then the bit that you've cut out the middle, if you pop some snail on the back, and stick that over the top in the centre. So there you've got your closure, like so. And we need to use, what we're going to use today are the Candy Dot brad bases and some Candy Dots. These are the Regals collection Candy Dots, and you're going to need your stamping pierce mat and your piercing tool, and just on the edge, not on the patterned part, but on the edge where you've got the pistachio pudding, you just pop, actually you need to do it with this, lay that over your hole in the box like so, and then just in the edge just pierce a hole for the brad to go through. Didn't quite get that right. You need to make sure, if you can see there, I'm right on the edge, so that's not going to work. You need to make sure that it's going to go on the box. That's better. Okay, so now where's my box gone? we're going to do the flowers, and for the flowers I've used the small flower die, and for the life of me I can't remember what it's called. It's Sunday morning, bear with me. And we're going to use some very vanilla and pop out 3 flowers. And I'm going to sponge the edges of these flowers with some of the colours that are in the DSP. So in here you've got Daffodil Delight, Strawberry Slush and Blushing Bride. So here's the, let's get rid of the piercing mat. Blushing Bride, and all we're going to do is sponge the edges. So we've got our flowers. If we bring back our piercing mat or anything soft, and get the base of your piercing tool and just press it down in the middle, it'll give the flowers some dimension. There we go. And for the leaves on the box, I've just used some Mossy Meadow because that's in the colourway of the DSP2, and I've taken the Bird Builder punch and just punched out the leaves from there, and you just need to cut that bit off there. So now we can pop them together. So one of the flowers is going to have a brad through the middle, so we need to make a hole in the middle. Take one of the brads and the candy dots. Sorry, I should have opened these first. Okay, so you take one of the Daffodil Delight candy dots and pop it in the centre. It's a little bit fiddly, this is. Pop it in the centre of your brad, like so. There we go, pop it through there, through the hole in your closure, through the hole in your box, and then spread them out in the back there. So there you go, that's your closure, and we just want to add a little bit of extra flowers and leaves on there. So we'll use some more of the candy dots in the centre of the flowers. If I can get them in the centre. There we go. And we'll just stick these on using glue dots. And just tuck them in, press them down. Now you don't have to put the leaves on here, but I just think it adds an extra, just a little bit of extra, I don't know, just a little bit of extra, really. And we'll pop that on, just tuck that behind. So now we're ready to put the box together and put the tissues in. So along this thin strip here, you're going to need some sticky strip. Excuse me, reaching over. Put the sticky strip right up against the creased edge. Take the backing off, bring it round, there you go, there's your box. Fasten one end. And you can pop your tissues in when I can find what I've done with them. Here we go. You could leave these in the packet if you wanted to, but for whoever you're giving them to take them out of the packets for hygiene reasons. But if you're just using them for yourself, and there we go. And now you've got your little tissue box. So a little bit long-winded, but we got there in the end. So thanks for joining me. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, and don't forget that if you want to buy any of the products that I've used to make this tissue box or any of the other items in my videos, you can pop on over to my shop at www.samsentiments.co.uk. And you'll find a link on the right hand side that will take you to my shop. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.